Kudlow Show. Entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Welcome back, folks. So let's do some money in politics. Steve Forbes, chairman and editor-in-chief, Forbes Media. Steve's latest book is Inflation, What It Is, Why It's Bad, and How to Fix It. And special appearance, thank you, Joe, Joe Concha, Fox News contributor, but he's got a bunch of radio stations. Now, let me get this right. 9 to 10 p.m. during the week. That's every night?
Yeah, Monday through Friday, Larry, and then Sundays at 11. So I put in a 6-day as well. I'm trying to work as hard as kill me, but it's very hard to keep up with that guy.
Boy, oh boy. I listen, I do 6 days, but you guys are, well, you're younger. You can do this. It's going to be okay. You and Steve.
51 is not old, Larry, so give yourself some credit. Come on.
All right. So let me start with you. You're among your many talents. You're a media analyst. Legacy media, the legacy media is basically painting a picture that the United States is losing the war to Iran, and that our Pentagon, our military planners didn't plan. They never thought that Iran would blockade or tie up the Strait of Hormuz, right? The fact that we've been doing this for 47 years. The Economist magazine, or whatever it is, which used to be pretty interesting, but has gone downhill so much. Their cover story was Advantage Iran. Okay, here we go.
Oh.
What is going on with this? Why does now, even if the legacy media hates Donald Trump, I would think they hate Iran more. I mean, that just is common sense. But, you know, your ears to the ground. What is going on here?
I'll put it this way. Over on MS, whatever it is now, I guess it's MS Now, just as one example, John Brennan, who was the CIA director of this country, says he believes the Iranian regime and what they're saying about the war more than he believes the Trump administration. I mean, this is pretty crazy stuff, right? But that's over on MS Now. That's fine. I think overall it's a visceral hatred for Donald Trump, that anything he does, the reflex is to oppose it. So if he sends the National Guard into major cities like D.C. or Memphis or New Orleans and it has a positive result, they'll still oppose it. If Trump is for men not playing against women in sports, they will oppose it. Trump could sign an executive order saying that pineapple on pizza is now hereby banned because, 99% of the country would support that. And Democrats and the media, because whatever Democrats want, the media follows, would say, no, actually pineapple on pizza is pretty good. So in the end, we're not saying to cheerlead here, guys, as far as like, yay, USA, just report the facts. And the facts is that the varsity and the JV, as far as Iranian leadership, has been obliterated. Their Navy has been obliterated. Their ability to launch most missiles at this point has been obliterated. Their nuclear ambitions probably set back decades, if not forever. And we're not even we're 3 weeks into this war. It is really incredible strides that we have made, yet our legacy media appears to be almost rooting for Trump to fail, because if Trump fails, Democrats take back the House in November, and maybe they take back the White House in 2028. That seems to be the bet that Democrats and their allies in the media are making at this point, and it is sad.
Steve Forbes, to continue this, what Joe's saying, look, these facts of,
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return,
but I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do?
My refund, though.
I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
Not sure how to tackle your taxes? Are you sweating the small print? You may be experiencing FOMO, the fear of messing up. The answer? Using TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They help you get your biggest refund, and then we help you do more with it, with a personalized plan designed to help you hit your money goals. It's time to take your taxes to the max. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
What we've taken out, missiles and the Navy and the Air Force and the slowdown in drones and so forth. This stuff is coming from the Pentagon. It's coming from the Pentagon, and it's coming from CENTCOM. So what John Brennan types and legacy media types and the Economist types, they're basically saying our military is just flat out lying. I mean, if they refused to believe what they're saying, in other words, you can dislike Trump, okay, but so much of one of the things I like about this is a lot more transparency coming out of the Joint Chiefs and coming out of CENTCOM than we've ever had before. But they won't believe them. Now, why won't they believe them? This is America's military, for God's sakes.
The reason, aside from Trump syndrome, is the fact that people felt they have been misled for 20 years about the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. So there's a lot of skepticism in. And unfortunately, a lot of people had the impression when this war began, even though it was said to take several weeks, that this would sort of be Maduro 2.0. May take a few days, but it'll be clean and it'll be over with. And that's why, again, I wish the president would go behind that Oval Office desk and calmly explain, as you've done, as General Keane has done, and others have done, Joe has done, what was really at stake with Iran. You do that, then people put in context when you get to spikes in gasoline prices. That's what people see. And so instead of the president can continue to do his, 2 minutes here, going on a show there, but people want a larger context of what the stakes are. And when they have that, they will back him. And the thing about, say, the Strait of Hormuz, there may have been arguments inside whether Iran would have gone that way, but the fact of the matter is we've war gamed that for years, and eventually we're going to take out all the means that they have to block the Strait of Hormuz.
Yes.
And so what Iran's counting on and what they're getting support for, they know they can't win the war militarily. They know they're getting blasted away. What they're counting on is that they will win a political victory, just as happened in the 1970s, and that way we'll be forced to stop this thing prematurely, and they will be seen as staying in power, and that'll really be bad in the Middle East and bad for Europe and bad for Asia, because our adversaries will draw the wrong conclusions. And one of the things about the Strait of Hormuz, I hope we don't, and we shouldn't, say we want to run it. We should say for a while we have to be the guardian of freedom of navigation, because we don't want China to say, oh, you want the Strait of Hormuz, we want the South China Sea. No, we're the guardians of freedom of the seas. And that's the kind of, they got to get their communications better.
Freedom of the seas.
Military's doing its part. Now we got to do it on the political side, put it in context, and the American people will back you. And by golly, when this war is over, let's say gas goes to $5 a gallon. If people see after the war is over that the trend line is down, then people will will cut you slack. They'll cut you slack about when you explain what the goals are, why we had to do it. Instead of the confusion, did they have a bomb? They didn't have a bomb. When they have the real facts straight, then right decisions will be made politically, and Iran won't win the war politically because they know they can't win it militarily, but they're counting on, like the economists and others, to say, oh, it's bad, therefore cut it off prematurely.
Well, freedom of the seas is a long-standing international principle.
You're so right. It goes back to our first campaign outside the U.S. as an independent country was in the Mediterranean for the Barbary pirates.
Yes.
So
Jefferson beat the Barbary pirates.
For freedom of the seas. We wanted freedom of navigation.
So that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do now. And we're going to rename it the Strait of Trump.
The Strait of Kudlow, I think, has a better ring to it.
Joe Concha, I'm reading this. Trump considers... Let me see. This is Fox News, Fox Digital. No, New York Post. Trump considers renaming Strait of Hormuz after either America or himself once he evicts Iran. I love this. Here's what I love about it, though. It tells me that we're going to take it. We're going to take it over very soon. Very, very soon. This was published yesterday. What's today? March 28th, 29th? What day is today?
28th.
All right.
The 28th.
So this came out last night, and I think it's very important. They can be talking, Joe. whatever is going to happen. All right, talk with Iran, fine. I don't expect much to come out of that, but I think the president is right to go through these motions. But he didn't say, he said we're not going to bomb their energy facilities. He did not say we're going to stop bombing, or he did not say we're going to let Iran continue its blockade of Hormuz. And I just think you're going to wake up one morning in the next few days, and the Marines will have taken these two little islands that Iran uses, and we will have retaken and reopened the Strait of Hormuz. And we're going to run it, and we're going to run it. We're going to run the money, and we're going to run the disbursements for Iran, and so forth and so on. But when I saw that Trump considers renaming it, you know how he is. Listen, Steve Forbes, like me, we're old Reagan guys. We love to have the Gipper give these great speeches. Trump, not as good. Now, I know Steve is right, and someday Trump will give a speech on this, but it's not going to happen soon. But Trump, he communicates differently, and he wages psychological warfare in his own way. And I think that's what this is. He's saying, the Trump Kennedy Center, well, this is just like that. This is the Strait of Trump. All right. But I like it. I think it tells me we're about to move. That's all I'm saying.
If you want ownership, naming rights, you have to own
right,
the area.
Right.
And you take Cargill Island, which won't be terribly difficult, and from there, that is the next big last step, I think. Once you get Hormuz under control, as Steve pointed out, once gas prices come down again to where they were, which were incredible levels. I mean, you look at some states like Colorado, where you had a gallon of gas for $1.65. I mean, these are prices we haven't seen since Reagan, I think. So I think in the end, Steve is right also as well. Iran just wants to play a long game here in terms of if they could just stall this long enough and make the Trump administration say, midterms coming up. We better, straighten this out in a hurry because they know there is a clock here. That's the whole trick. But again, militarily, they won't be able to stop us in terms of taking over the Strait of Hormuz. And many people thought that Trump would never name the Gulf of Mexico Gulf of America. It happened like day one. So, I think day one of taking Hormuz, you're going to see hopefully the Strait of America. I like that, or the Freedom Strait. But
that's
put Trump's name there.
No, that's the second.
Enough buildings.
That's the second part. He considers renaming Strait of Hormuz after either America or himself. So it could be the Strait of America.
And one thing, maybe given the president's way of communicating, Larry, is there's going to be has to be a reconciliation bill.
Yes,
and they should have in there. There's the president's proposed $200 billion of extra defense spending to show the resolve and get the doubters to doubt their doubts.
Steve, I've been saying this every night on the show.
No, Larry,
I've been arguing with Republican senators that don't know what to do, a bunch of wusses.
Well, make them even bigger wusses by instead of proposing $200 billion, propose $300 billion, just to show we're going to see this thing through. Get over it.
Well, I'll only do $300 billion if you agree that we should inflation index capital gains.
Well, that should be part of the reconciliation bill. That is capital gains being reduced and indexed, reducing income tax rates, and throw in the Save America Act as well for toppings.
I have been saying this and writing this.
Reconciliation bill.
I mean it. I've been now. Earlier in the show, very interesting. Ron Johnson of Wisconsin echoed all this. He wants reconciliation. He wants it right away. All these other Republicans come on. I mean, they're not. James Lankford's a nice guy. Blah blah. A couple. I should name names, but it'll take too long. No, it won't. Take 3 weeks, 4 weeks max. The House is already working on a major reconciliation. It's the only way you're going to beat the lefty Dems. You're never going to get any of this stuff through because you need 60 votes, right? You need You're not going to get 60 votes. You need 50 votes plus the vice president. That's all you need. So everything, every appropriation, Pentagon, Homeland Security, all of it, and throw in, by the way, fraud. You'll have offsets with all this fraud, for Medicaid and welfare and illegal immigration in all these, not just Minneapolis, Minnesota, but California, New York. Throw in the fraud as offsets. Get some supply-side tax cuts in there. Get the Save America Act in there. One big, beautiful reconciliation. But this is what I was arguing a year ago. A year ago, I remember every month after month, week after week, month after month, one reconciliation bill will do it. And that's what we have to do. I'm just saying I've been doing my best on that. But Trump will never give a speech, Steve. I know you may be right. But I will say this. I think I disagree with one point. I think the President and Rubio have made it, and the Pentagon too. But this is about. You take a look at the 15 points. You see with clarity. You boil it down. It's all about no uranium enrichment. Period. Full stop. Okay. End to all the terrorism, and the banking goes with it. Full stop.
And that's why
no missiles.
We have to continue with the Israelis taking out their internal security forces so you can get regime change, but you have to create the conditions for it, and that's why we can't stop this campaign now.
No, that's right. All right, we got to take a break. I got some more stuff for both of you guys. You're terrific. Joe Concha gets another medal for this. Terrific. Are you still there, Joe?
Oh, I'm here.
Oh,
yeah.
Good. I just gave you a medal.
My other medals.
I thought you gave a medal for helping out. And we're talking to Steve Forbes, and we're talking to Joe Concha. I want to advertise Joe because he's so heroic. He's on radio, WABC, Sundays, 11 a.m. to noon, and Monday through Friday, 9 to 10 p.m. And, of course, he's Fox News contributor. You're still doing the weekend panel thing, Joe?
Oh, yeah, the big weekend show. That's like a rotating thing. So, do that and write for the Washington Examiner and working on my next book. So just trying to stay busy at this point, Larry, just like you.
What's the book? What's the book?
Oh, it's 99 Americans we could really, 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 really do without.
Oh, really?
It writes itself. It really does. Larry and Steve did not make that list.
And the great Steve Forbes is chairman and editor-in-chief of Forbes Media. Steve, the interesting Wall Street Journal editorial, the high tax wealth flight continues today's as Democrats across the country seek to raise income taxes. The IRS on Friday released new data on state income migration. And the states with the highest taxes continue to lose the most income to other states. Not just people leaving, although that's part of it, but just income. California, I guess, is the leader. They lost nearly $12 billion last year, mostly to Texas, Nevada, and Arizona. Other big losers, here's a shocker, New York, $10 billion. Illinois, $6 billion, Massachusetts, $4 billion, New Jersey, $2.5 billion, Maryland, and Minnesota. While the top state and local rate in New York City is 14.8%. This is amazing. Individuals who make over $215,400, they pay 10.7%. That's not that much money in these days. I mean
especially in New York City.
Right.
Come on.
Right. So then we have Governor Hochul, who told everyone to go to hell and move to Florida. Now she's begging them to come back. You think she'll succeed, Steve Forbes?
No, I think she's auditioning for a comedy role on Saturday Night Live with statements like that. Come on. You throw them out of the state, say good riddance. Now you say come back and we're going to raise taxes even more with that legislature they have, the crazy communist mayor we have in New York and the city council. Taxes are going to go higher. Regulations are going to go higher. Why would you go back in a sawmill when you've left the sawmill? You don't want to be a victim.
Does Bruce Blakeman have a shot at the governor? I think he's got a shot. He's a real supply sider, Bruce Blakeman. Won twice in Nassau County to be this county executive, and against a heavy Democratic majority. What do you think?
Oh, I think he's could be a very real candidate. One of the things that will work in his favor is voters make a distinction between candidates for national offices and state and local offices. So they may be Democrat on the national level, would never vote for a Blakeman or a Republican for Congress or for the Senate. But on local issues, you can win. You know, Massachusetts used to elect Republican governors, even though they're overwhelmingly Democrat, because they wanted their local issues dealt with effectively. And that's where Blakeman should come in and hit hard, starting with taxes. Big tax cut.
We're going to work. Wow. We're going to work a plan for him.
The Larry Kudlow Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.